Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cal. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, man, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business here. And guys, I got to tell you, take a look down here. 197, 10 hours, 39 minutes, and 40 seconds away from kickoff of the 2018 season. I know that sounds like a long, I got to tell you, for some reason, it seems like time is ticking away because I started it at 2:10. Look at it now. Tonight after 8:15, boom, 196. Clock is ticking. And right now, we are knee deep in shaping this team, this roster. We already know the Dallas Cowboys are in discussions with DeMarcus Lawrence to get that deal done. He says he will not sign a free agent, a franchise tag. He wants a deal, and he deserves one. We already know that David Irving is a free agent, and the Cowboys aren't going after him, and he just does not seem to have a clue on that. We already know Terrence Williams, the option wasn't picked up for him, so he's now. But, you know, things come full circle sometimes in life. Last year, I started talking about one Earl Thomas, about Earl Thomas and the Cowboys making a move for him. I caught a lot of crap, a lot of crap. I got thrown under the bus by my boy Mike Fisher, even. Mike Fisher, man, um, put to bed my conversation. And you would think that the Dallas Cowboys had no interest whatsoever in the Dallas Cowboys, that there was nothing there. Yet, for over a year now, for a year now, Earl Thomas has been the topic of conversation. I wanted to get Earl Thomas last year. I think with Earl Thomas that we would have had a chance to go to the Super Bowl. That's just my personal opinion. We'll never know. But I believe he could have made a difference in a couple of plays. And sometimes the difference between winning and losing can be one or two plays. If Jared Goff is stopped on third down, we get the ball back, and we know what the Dallas Cowboys have been able to do with game-winning drives. If he had picked off an interception here or two in one of these games that went down to a field goal or overtime, maybe we prevent the other team from scoring and we win those games. And you win a couple of those games instead of playing on the road in the playoffs. You're playing at home where the Dallas Cowboys changed the narrative. We used to be better on the road than at home. We were god awful ugly on the road last year, but we were deadly at home. And that's what football comes down to. As much as we think about the game plans and this, that, sometimes it all boils down to just a couple of plays. So, Earl Thomas, who almost single-handedly won the game in Seattle with two interceptions against us, is a free agent. He's looking for a new team. And the Dallas Cowboys want to get Earl Thomas on a team-friendly, cheap contract. Don't know what Earl Thomas wants. If Earl Thomas is willing to negotiate to be in a team that he wants to be. But we do know this much. The games are going to begin right now with this. It's going to be all in conversation with Earl Thomas until he signs with somebody else. And I had a friend of mine, I said this yesterday, a friend of mine who has a friend that's a friend of Jerry Jones. You know, they always say that there's 4 degrees of separation from anybody in the world. So, Greg. Yeah. So, my friend to his friend to Jerry. And me, that's 4 degrees of separation. So I'm only 4 degrees away from Jerry Jones. Has been whispering in his ear about Earl Thomas. We know I've been talking about Earl Thomas. I don't know if Jerry Jones, Jerry, do you have a burner account and you check out the Joe Boo Sports Report? I bet somebody, I bet at least a few people. I know some of the security definitely watches the Joe Boo Sports Report because they've stopped me the star. So somebody there I know listens to me and the things that I say. But people will disagree with me. People will say, well, he's broken his leg the last 2 years. He's fragile. He's old. He's too, it costs too much and everything else. But I say there's a lot more to just the plays on the field. You look at our defense, and don't listen. I love Xavier Woods. Xavier is a hitter. He's young. He's learning. He's impressionable. Jeff Heath, you know, he'll give you some really great plays sometimes, but other times it's just kind of, you know, nothing spectacular. It's vanilla. Kevon Frazier, great special teamer, learning and things like that, still don't have that much experience in things there. Understand, we haven't had a lights out safety since Woodson. But what Earl Thomas can do with those guys, mentoring them, what Earl Thomas can do with the system that he's played in his whole career with Chris Richard, teaching them as well. Understand, in today's NFL, it's not like when I grew up where we'd have 6 weeks of preseason and camp and all that to learn, where we were hitting 2-a-days and things like that. Everything is like a blitz package of what learning everything. You don't have that many practices. You don't have that much time. But you get an Earl Thomas who already knows the system out there, working as well as Chris Richard working with other guys. You're educating these players that much more. He can be out there in real time communicating what's going on to the young guys. And make no mistake, I still believe, and again, I'm not there on a 24/7 basis. I would be, Jerry, if you give me a call. But I believe when you look at some of the reasons why the Cowboys' young team have played as well as they have is because of a veteran behind them. Dak Prescott having Romo there his rookie year. Leighton Vander Esch having Sean Lee. Joe Looney having Travis Frederick. Guys that have been to battle, have been to war, that know all of it, and nothing gets by them. You need that presence. We have a young team. A young team that's going to make mistakes, a young team that's going to be surprised by things because they haven't seen it before. And that's where having a mix of a few veterans helps out. And, of course, having that ring, that Super Bowl ring, knowing what it takes to get there, being able to show it to the other guys, make them want it as much, you can't measure it. And that's why I wanted him last year, and that's why I want him this year. So understand, this isn't just me starting the Earl Thomas rumors, okay? This is Mike Fisher going on board. At Fish, book it. A Cowboys flirtation with Earl Thomas is coming. Well, I got to tell you, free agency starts on the 11th when teams can start talking to players. I'd say it's already here. I'm going to leave you guys with one last thing. Because I got to be honest, I'm going to take a bow here. Let the games
Entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
I will see you guys soon.